So the first stretch we're going to do is out of the doorway, since we already have our seam made. So the first wall I want to check to make sure that we're straight is going to be this wall right here. And because it is running crossways, this is the lengthways, this is crossways of the carpet, I'm going to just look at a pattern and measure from my pattern. I don't even really have to measure. I can just kind of look at the pattern and see where the pattern touches the baseboard here, and just follow it all the way down the wall. Basically just like one on each end, one in the center, and then one on the other end is going to tell me if the carpet is nice and straight. So I haven't touched this carpet. It is how it is just from the last video, so I don't have a clue if it's straight or not. I'm hoping so, because we made sure that we got our master bedroom and hallway and everything like that is straight, and then this is row cut and connected onto the hallway. So it should be fairly straight. We're going to check it out right now and see. I'm going to go to, I'm just going to see where it hits, and then I will go to a pattern. I'll go to the same spot on the pattern down the way there. So I'm going to cut a little notch out, just enough for me to tuck. So I'm sure not to cut it too short, because whenever I stretch, I actually probably should have started down here, because if it needs to swing around, I'm going to be short now. That wasn't very good thinking on my part there. So you guys disregard that cut. Like I said, I should have started here first and adjusted it according to this, because this one is close to whatever's already tied off. So and it is exactly what I said, so hopefully I'm not going to be too short. You can see here, this is that same little thing right there, okay? This is, oh, actually it's not. That one is. Okay, so I got lucky. I need to take this, I need to take the left end over here and scooch it up on the wall, because you can see how much of this little, how much of that little dog leg it actually cut into that right there. So I need to come down here and cut right into here. I need to have my wall bend right into that, okay? So this whole piece of carpet does need to twist just a little bit. And I got lucky, it didn't need to twist this way, because I got a little ahead of myself and already cut this down. If I had to have it twisted that much the opposite way, I would have been short right there. So I got lucky. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my first pull right here. Again, I'm coming all the way across the hallway because this is such a small room. But I want to get my first stretch right here, and then I can see if I need to adjust it or anything like that. So, and after I get my first stretch pulled straight right here, then I will tie this corner off a little bit right here and get my corner stretch after I get my first pull, okay? This is just going to snug everything up and let me know if I need to do anything other than what I've already got going there. And I'm still good there, and tell you what, I think I need to go just a little bit more. So with the stretch on the carpet, I'm going to bump my headpiece around. I don't know if you guys know or not, so I'm going to point this out. So this knob right here on the side of the stretchers, and you can see this little shelf right there also. That actually holds the kicker up off the carpet. See that? And that little dip, that little knob right there fits right in that groove of the kicker, okay? So it's a perfect fit. It's made just for that right there, okay? That way your kicker is not floating on the carpet. It actually floats right over it so that you can just bump the headpiece of the stretcher over. Ooh, I might have been a little much there. Okay, yeah, that is too much. I'm going to come back just a wee bit there. Now you got to take your time here, because you're just moving it just little bits at a time, okay? And I think that's going to be good. Let me cut this again just to see. I think we about got it right there. Okay. We'll go just barely more there. Okay, I'm going to be good with that now. Okay, so I got my pattern all lined up on that wall right there. I'm going to go ahead and crease this down, get it stuck. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tie off this corner right here. That way I can angle my stretchers and get another stretch into the corner, okay? Now, as always, I'm going to use my kneeless to push it up here, hook it on the strip, and make sure it does not pull off. That I just can't talk enough about that tool. It's just awesome. I don't care if you've been doing carpet for 50 years. You will love that tool if you go ahead and get yourself one. Just a phenomenal tool. Again, I've got this stuck with the kneeless. I'm going to go ahead and get this stretch right in there. That way I've got a little bit of both walls tied off, and I don't have to worry about it moving, okay? Anytime you're doing stretching, you should always tie off a little section of both walls right there, okay? So this is a tiny room, so I've just got a tiny bit. I got about 6 inches of this wall right here tied off, which would normally be about 3 foot in a traditional size room, okay? All right, I got this locked down. This is locked down. I'm going to go ahead and get me one more stretch right dead into that corner, then I can secure this wall, and then we'll worry about getting our next wall all lined up and ready to go. Okay, and I'm just double checking myself, making sure my pattern is staying good as I make my stretches and so forth. And everything is staying good. You want to constantly check that, okay? It only takes stretching one time to pull your pattern off. Even if it's just a little bit, the next time you stretch, your pattern will pull off. And a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. And when you get to the other side of the room, it's going to be off a ½ inch or so, and it's going to show, okay? So double check yourself all the time, okay? Go ahead and stretch up here, and I'm using my kneeless, so definitely want to keep an eye on everything. Make sure that I don't overdo it, throw my pattern off or anything like that, okay? Again, this is super helpful when it comes to this. If you happen to get off just a little bit, it's very easily corrected with this kneeless stretcher, okay? So it is super helpful. Might see me give just a little extra push down on this whenever I stretch. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about right here. I'm going to push down and sink them teeth into the backing. This is the Shaw Lifeguard carpet, so it's got that plastic on the backing, which makes it a little bit stiffer and tougher for them teeth just to sink into and get a good hold. So I always want to be careful on that, especially with a pattern carpet, okay? Now when I get this trimmed and tucked, you'll be able to see my pattern real nice like, and see it all nice and straight down through there. Okay, so take a look down that wall long ways right there, and you can see my pattern, all my little half circles are all nice and straight down through there. Got the same little dip right there as I have all the way down here. So worked out real nice. And I'll just keep that up throughout the whole room right there, and it's going to be a nice, straight, crisp job when we get done. What I want to do to check this, I'm going to go up there to that very far corner, see what that pattern is on that first corner that we did there, and make the rest of this wall match that corner down there perfectly, okay? So I want to come right about here, and on this one I think I'm just going to run me a row because this is lengthways. This is what I like to do to make sure everything stays nicely. Okay, that feels good. I've got me a line now to go by. I am going to go with this second one here. It's going to be the straight one according to the rows of the carpet, which that's going to determine how the pattern looks straight on the walls, okay? So again, I'm going to measure from my baseboard here right to my row cut and make sure I have the exact same thing down there, and I am dead on 9 inches. And check this out down here, and again, I'll go ahead and stretch. I'm actually a 1/16 off, so again, that's really close. I'll go ahead and get my stretchers in here, make my first stretch, adjust it after I get the tension on it is going to be our best bet, okay? And I said that was a 1/16 off. I was actually a 1/16 that way too far, so I don't want to have my stretchers angled that much, because that much right there is going to make my carpet stretch straight. I actually want it to stretch over this way just a wee bit to straighten that up. So I'm going to straighten my stretchers up just a little bit. Whenever I do that, that's going to cause my carpet to shift this direction just a hair, just what I need to make this straight. There it went. I already moved. I might be just a little bit much there. I can see how much it's moving over as I put tension on it right there. Let's see what we got. I should have 9 exactly right there. And I am about a 1/16 off actually I'm about an 1/8 off the opposite direction. So it did come this way too much with that, okay? So I'm going to bump it over just a wee bit. This is real important that you always keep checking yourself. Okay, I am exactly dead on 9 right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this locked on the strip so that it don't go anywhere. Okay. Should not need that anymore. All right. We're all straight on that wall. Now, as I'm stretching up this way, I've got to look at what my pattern is right here on this end wall and make sure that I keep it the same all the way down this way, okay? What I will always do is find an obvious spot in the pattern and just follow that same obvious spot all the way across the room. On this particular pattern, I am going to go from this little circle right here. Let me come down here and show you. So this circle right here is meeting this other little line right here. So that's what I'm going to go by to make sure that I stay in that exact same spot all the way across the room, okay? Whether I need to stretch a little more or stretch a little less to make that stay accurate and true all the way across the room, okay? That's what I'm going to judge by. And once you get your little spot picked out there, it's as simple as watching and stretching to make sure you keep on the money with every single pull. And again, that's my same spot, which worked out nicely right there. I'm going to find it down here, which is going to be right here. So I can see I got to go just about right there to make that line fall dead in the gully right there, okay? And that's going to keep it all nice. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tie this off. Double check all this as I'm stretching it up. Make sure that this wall right here is all nice and tight. If I need to do any adjustment whatsoever, I will use my needless to bring the pattern whichever way I need to do. Make sure it's all spot on, okay? I don't want to move it much because it should be dead on the money right here, which it is, so I can just barely barely move this, okay? Just enough to make it get a little bite right there. Okay. And that's, well, that is going to be it. Just a wee bit. Creasing it at this point is going to be really good to hold that down right there. I mean, I'm just barely getting anything, and I'm getting a really good crease to make sure that it stays right where I want it. It worked out, it looking like it fell right in the center of a pattern, which is pretty nice. That always looks good whenever you split a pattern. I didn't plan on that. It just happened to work out like that, which again, like I said, it just looks nice. So I'm kind of glad that that worked out like that. The main thing about this stuff is starting off correct, okay? If you start off correct, you should be able to run your whole room out correct, okay? Your first couple of walls, this one right here, I had to make sure that wall was straight. Then whenever I stretched this way, my first stretch this way, I had to make sure this wall was straight, okay? So this wall and that wall right there was the main two ones that you have to be extremely careful on, and the other ones should fall dead on as long as you don't overstretch or understretch as you're doing the room. What I mean by that is you don't want to just get a tiny bit here and a whole bunch of stretch down there, or vice versa. You don't want to get just a little bit here and then a whole bunch down here to make your pattern do this. If you stretch more here, obviously it's going to push your pattern up on the wall more, or less, it's going to be vice versa. So keep an equal amount of stretch throughout the whole room, and you should be good, okay? Again, just the first couple stretches in each direction is going to be the main thing about keeping your pattern nice, okay? So what I'm doing right here is I'm cutting me some little windows or gateways or whatever you want to call them, and this is the pattern that I'm actually measuring to, where these two circles meet right here. One goes that way, this one goes that way. That's going to be my measure point. And that way I can watch that and make sure it stays exactly on 2, and what I say that was 2.5 all the way down the wall right there, okay? So that gives me a little window. I can put my tape measure flat on the baseboard, make sure I get my measurement accurate all the way down the wall, okay? Okay, got that all locked on there. I got my first stretch there. I want to go ahead and double check that, make sure I did do good, and I'm right dead on. Okay, that worked out good. So the size of this room is I'm going to have to get another 2x4 or something down here just to make this stretcher work. Okay, a little bit far away with my stretchers, but going to be okay. I can get me a nice measurement here, and I'm just going to have to look. Looks like straight down over my pattern, and that's a little bit much actually. Stop right there. Okay, I'll double check that once I move. Okay. Just want to keep checking yourself. Seems like a lot of extra work, but that's why you make extra money on these kind of jobs. 2.5, that's exactly what we want right there. Again, with every single stretch, just want to double check yourself. Got one more stretch to do here and we are going to be good. 2.5. Everything is working out just fine. Okay. That was a little awkward with the size of this room, I'll say that. So I want to double check myself here for my last, and I'm dead on. Okay, that whole wall worked out really nice. Really glad to see that. Okay, that's it. We have this room completely stretched in, and as always, I hope this little video will help somebody on their jobs doing some kind of pattern work or something like that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, FBSB's out.